Hi, I'm Claudia Brown Coulter with Pivotal Peace. I'm your go to mediator for navigating divorce while parenting children with special needs. I am also a legal document assistant, LDA, based in the greater Los Angeles area. It's Friday, and on Fridays we talk about finishing divorce, but I want to fast forward to post divorce. Now, if you're watching this video, you're probably contemplating divorce and you're like, girl, why are you skipping so far ahead to like past the end? Because how you behave in your divorce is going to impact your life post divorce. And I'm talking about your credit. You are suddenly going from, two people with one household to two people with two households. You're going to need more money. And if you can't create that money out of thin air, you're going to need some credit. So, how do you protect your credit in the midst of a divorce? One of the first things you want to do is monitor your credit. Do you monitor your credit regularly? Some people do a really great job of that. Some people don't. But especially post-divorce, I really want you to start thinking about, this person who I gave my everything to knows my social security number probably. And I just need to make sure everything is cool and there's not anything opened up in my name that I am unaware of. So you want to make sure of that. You want to go back and check for any inaccuracies. And if there are inaccuracies, then you want to contact the credit reporting bureaus. Now, when you are finalizing the terms of your divorce, you've got to figure out what to do with those joint accounts and with those joint credit cards and things like that. So for your joint banking and checking accounts, savings accounts, some people leave those open because it's a way for them to funnel shared money into an account for the kids, and it's only spent on the kids. But for the most part, those get closed or someone takes it over and the other person's name is withdrawn. But when it comes to credit cards, if both of your names are on it, you're both responsible for it. If you incurred debt in your marriage, your spouse is equally responsible for that debt. So you really have to think about, how do we divide this in a way that is, I know we love the word fair. This is a 50-50 state, but in some reality, you really have to think about what's equitable. Is this really fair to an equitable for all of the clothes that I charged on my credit card to tell them to split that halfway? Oh, well, we were married. Is it really equitable for all of the stuff that they spent on their hobby that I was unaware of or I didn't participate in, that now I have to pay half of it? Well, the law says you do, but it doesn't mean that you have to make that agreement. So this is a time to be a bigger person. And now I also want you to think about, whose name is that account under? Is it under both of your names? Can you close it and just have it transferred to someone else's name? Not like a stranger, like yours or theirs. Is it just in one person's name? Can that one person assume that whole debt and you assume some other debt? And here's why I'm saying that. Credit card companies, creditors are not bound by your divorce decree. Hey, it's a good idea. You can present it to them. They may honor it, but they're still going to report it late on your credit. They're still going to come after you for payment. And by the time you get to the point where you can talk to them and explain, oh, I'm divorced and you should really go be going after them, I'll let you know where they are, your credit's already taken a hit. Much as possible, keep the things that are in your name. They keep the stuff that's in their name. It probably is not a good idea if your spouse is like, I'm going to pay this debt and I know it's in your name, but I'm going to take over the debt. But you're not confident that they can, that they will pay on time, because as long as that debt is sitting there, it's impacting your credit. So I want you to think about, okay, is there a timeline? Is there an end date? Is this just like the minimum payments for the rest of their life? Or is there an end date of when this is going to be paid? Is this going to be paid off by the end of the calendar year or within a year post-divorce or immediately after the divorce? So think about that. Is there a way that this debt can be transferred over to them in their name only? because you really need to think about the impact it's going to have on your credit. Now, the other side of the coin is that sometimes people are like, you ran up that credit card debt. Yeah, I know it's in my name, but you ran it up and I'm not paying for it. I'm not paying it. I'm not paying it. I'm not paying it. I have watched people intentionally wreck their credit to make a point to their soon-to-be ex. Intentionally. I will not pay the bill. Interest is accruing. Late charges are there. Reports, it's been 30, 60, 90 days post, that first bill. That stuff is being reported on their credit and they don't care. They are going to make their spouse squirm. Maybe they'll get what they want, but you know what else they get? Bad credit. Don't take any, you shouldn't have any black eyes on your credit report. So even if it's something minor, try to avoid that. So I need you to be thinking about these things now, because if, let's say you guys have a house and you've sold the house, but there's some credit card debt and you're going to pay off the debt or something like that. If you went through and you had a little tantrum in your divorce and were like, I'm not paying that, that's going to show up on your credit. And it may negatively impact your ability to receive a future loan, in the near future, to take the monies from the house that you sold to buy a new house. So think about, in the midst of you trying to punish your spouse, how is it impacting you? And then, you're getting a divorce and it's not for no reason. The love is gone and the trust is gone. So I say, short leash. Short amount of time, you're going to pay this debt off in this amount of time, or it needs to be refinanced in your name. If your name is on a bill, you should be paying it, because if the other person doesn't pay it, just like the reason you don't co-sign, somebody doesn't pay it, they come after you. They come after you. I don't want that for you. So I really want you to think about that. Now, if this has happened, then you've got to start making these regular payments, have conversations with the credit companies. How can I fix this? What's the minimum payment due? Is there any way we can kind of accelerate this? Whatever conversations you need to have. This is my situation. I need to rebuild my credit. How can I do this? Now, let's say you have a lot of credit cards open, but they're small balances, but they're in your name. Having available credit actually is great. That boosts your credit score. So keep those accounts open, just don't use them. Maybe cut the cards up, but keep the account open, because it shows that you have lots of credit that you're able to use. That will boost your score. And then in the midst of trying to pay back this debt, and one of the reasons it's important is this is like an albatross around your neck. Man, I'm still connected to this person. I'm still paying off debts from this marriage. You know that there are some people who are still paying off their wedding after the divorce. So you want to get this done as quickly as possible. And one of the best ways to do that is not Dave Ramsey. No, is Bree Sedano. She has a new book coming out called Cash Confidence. She teaches you the invisible system. I know that sounds crazy, but budgets don't work. Just like diets don't work. They work for a little bit, the budget will work for a little bit, but your habits will kick back in. So you have to retrain yourself. So I'll drop a link below. She's got a book coming out in December. That way you can pre-order this book. It's really going to help you get your head around a different kind of budget so that you can look at this debt and go, how can I pay it down so it's manageable? How can I restore my credit? And how can I have a life that's comfortable? Because you need to bounce back from divorce. This is not the end. But don't make this season harder than it is on yourself by not paying things or by having a divorce decree that is vague. Okay? Make sure you assign the debts and make sure that those debts are in the other person's name. Get that stuff transferred. Have a great weekend.